Kiss.
Says Kiss.
You made out with Taco?
What? Not to be corny, but when I saw you in person, you were perfect.
Things got steamy during the Group B championship on The Masked Singer.
I screamed his name till the neighbors called the cops.
And we didn't know this was possible, but Judge Ken Jeong's head got even bigger.
I know exactly who this is.
It ain't Halloween, but guest Judge T-Pain damn near saw a ghost.
Oh my God! Casper! Casper! Casper!
All that plus our special guest Margaret Cho, aka the Poodle, on Unmasking the Masked Singer. Well, we don't have a ghost with us tonight.
Ghost.
Even better, we have a comedy legend and alum from The Masked Singer. Everybody, please welcome Margaret Cho.
Thank you.
Yay!
Yay!
I mean, you crushed it on season 1.
Thank you.
Your
Thank
costume
you.
was so fierce and incredible.
I love the costume, yes.
Yes. We're going to ask you to stick with us tonight, give us all your intel, and
All
share
right.
some of your guesses, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
But before we get into all of that, let's go ahead and take a look at tonight's heartbreaking elimination.
Tom Bergeron! Emmy award-winning comedian and host!
It's Tom.
It's Tom!
It's Tom. We've been saying it for a few weeks now.
We have. We predicted this from the get-go. Now, Margaret, you did Dancing with the Stars.
Yes.
Did you know this was your buddy, Tom?
No, but I love Tom. He is hilarious and such a great singer. I didn't know he had a great voice like that. You know, it's just, it was really throwing me because this particular, I was like, I know them. I know them. And
How do I? Yes.
How? And it really was getting to me and I really could not figure it out. But he just did great, and you know, he's such a fun person, and I'm just glad. I'm glad that he was doing this. It's such a different sort of thing of like for us to see him in.
Right. Well, you mentioned you're like, I didn't know he could sing.
We
Neither
didn't
did
know
we.
he had that voice.
We're used
Right.
to him entertaining us and making us laugh, but this guy has a true like Frank Sinatra balladeer voice.
Well, he kind of comes from this era of showbiz
Yes.
that is like, you have to be good at everything, you know, and he really is. He can do so many different things, and he's such a really smart performer, and so he made great song choices, which I think is the key to the show, is that you really have to, you know, pick songs that fit your voice, but also hide your identity. This is why T-Pain was such a great first season winner, because he really picked songs that nobody would think that he would pick.
Yeah, Sam Smith. Didn't expect to hear T-Pain singing that
And
for a
incredible,
season.
and then you know the range and the depth and the richness that he would bring to the songs was really deep, and so that's, I think that's also part of the way Tom worked it. He just picked songs that you would never picture him singing.
Totally.
For sure. Well, look, week after week, we've dissected these clues. We did say Tom Bergeron from the get-go. I want to establish a few of the clues we got tonight that further led us to believe that it was Tom. So we got these really cool bonus clues tonight when they were doing the fun collaboration performance at the top. The tacos was, I've enjoyed a lot of salsas in my time.
Right.
So really brilliant double
That's
entendre
great.
there.
Yeah.
Yes, obviously like the literal salsa, but also, of course, he's known for Dancing with the Stars,
Of
where we
course.
get many salsas every single week.
So
We
great.
also got another additional clue. Tonight we saw the contestants give a bracelet with a clue on it to the judges. So take a look at what the taco gave Nicole.
Well, to my friend, Nicole.
Kiss.
Says Kiss.
Not to be corny, but when I saw you in person, you were perfect.
What could it mean? Well, we figured it out. Nicole obviously performed on Dancing with the Stars and rightfully won her season. And during week 9, she did dance to Prince's Kiss. So I think we cracked the case on there.
We sure
And
did.
received a perfect score, which has never happened on Dancing with the Stars. That's very difficult to receive a perfect score. So that I think that was what it was.
1000%. And Nicole's abs are a wonder to behold. Take a look.
I just want your extra time in your
I think I know what they're going to say, but let's go through the formality anyway. What do you say?
So that must have been the meaning of the washboard.
Yeah, I assume
the
so.
Washboard abs.
The washboard clue.
Just going back to Nicole and
Right,
her washboard abs.
Yes,
Exactly.
that's great.
Are you and Tom in touch? Are you gonna like text him or hit him up?
I'm gonna ask him. I'm like, this is crazy. You know, I mean, you know, we didn't know. I didn't know he could sing so beautifully. But I guess this is a great feather in your cap now.
There you
Exactly.
go.
Well, we asked you guys on Twitter who you thought was going to be eliminated tonight, and a lot of you were actually voting for the banana mask, but that is not what happened. The banana is here to stay, and we actually now officially have our Group A and Group B champions who will be moving on to the Super 9 finalists.
I can't believe we're getting so close.
We're getting so close. One more group to unmask here. We have Group C starting next week, but first we need to know right meow who this kitty is. Take a look.
All right, listen. I have been tearing my hair out, mulling over clues, mulling over research. We have said someone different every single week.
Us, the judges, and the internet.
Do you have any ideas?
I really don't know. I mean, this one I'm really, really stumped, and I think every clue just gets more confusing. I can't really tell. And also the body type, you know, like it doesn't seem like there's just something about the kitty that doesn't seem like it's some of the guesses. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we've heard a whole amalgam of names. I'm gonna throw out Nicole Richie tonight.
Yeah, but the body is like, because she's so, I mean, they just seem different. I'm not sure exactly what makes them different. I mean, they're both tiny.
Something is different.
They're both tiny, but I think there's something more, I don't know, she's more like a fairy sprite, and then the kitty is more, a little bit, you know, kind of more of a womanly shape,
Yeah,
I think.
okay.
But that could
Okay.
be the costume.
Margaret Cho, body language
Body
expert.
language expert over here.
I want to get into the clue package. I'm going to make my case for Nicole Richie. So the first thing I want to call out is this green Rapunzel BFF. Of course, tonight we heard from all the contestants' friends or relatives or family members, and we met the kitty's BFF. So take a look at the hair. It's really long. That reminds me of Paris Hilton. Obviously, her hair is beautiful, long, and blonde. It is nothing like this green mess. But, you know, even the pink shirt, the usage of the word BFF, Paris Hilton had a show called, you know, Wanna Be My BFF. So that, I was like, okay, maybe we've got something going along there. I also want to call out the Fabergé egg. So I looked up if Nicole Richie is like a collector or something. Well, she's told Glamour UK in the past that she did start buying them when she was just 8 years old. She said she didn't know what they were, but she knew that her mom liked them. So she would go to this fancy store in LA called Geary's, and she would charge them on her dad's bill. And that was the end of her having an account there, because they're very expensive. Yes.
Well, I do know one thing is that when we were creating the clue packages when I was on,
Yeah.
most of the impetus was on making sure that you were giving clues that were not anywhere Googleable.
Interesting.
So it's almost as if you find something online that is about that, it's likely that it's not the person that you're thinking. Because
Too perfect,
It's
almost.
too perfect, and so whenever they were asking for clues, they would, you know, really explain, like, well, can you Google this and find this out? Of course, there could be things that fall through the cracks, and
Yes, of
you
course.
can't, nobody can know.
Well, there's only so many things that we can pinpoint to a certain celebrity,
Right.
right? So the other last thing that I want to call out is we saw in the clue package the woods and a knife.
Yes.
And the best friend said whether she's writing poems or directing horror movies that we would star in, she's always had a flair for the dramatic. Now, Nicole Richie has not starred in any horror movies, but she has an interesting twist to Jordan Peele. So Jordan Peele put out the movie Us last year, and he actually revealed that the opening scene of the movie, which includes like a vintage 80s commercial, that commercial starred a very young Nicole Richie.
Oh,
So they have this very bizarre take on it, and even the fact directing horror movies, that directly means Jordan Peele, right?
It could.
Am I onto something? Am
That's
I in a
interesting.
duggar?
I mean, I think that is actually a good lead. I mean, but when it comes to Nicole Richie,
You're not buying the body
You're not
language.
buying it. Not buying it.
also Nicole Richie is such a person, like a sort of a celebrity that now is sort of very dedicated to behind the scenes. Like she is like a mom, and she's like a designer, and so she's
Well,
like,
that was last week's clue package.
You
We
know?
saw the kitty sitting at the sewing machine. So we're like, oh, she has a line called House of Harlow. The last thing that I want to call out for Nicole Richie, and I'll let you take
Go
the
for it.
lead on your guess. is, can we throw up the two photos? We have a photo of the kitty costume, and we have the photo of Nicole Richie on her book cover. I'm sorry, Margaret, do you think these crowns look alike?
They do look alike. But like, what are the alternate colored eyes? That's got to be a clue too. Like, what does that mean?
But to your point earlier, I thought that was too obvious. Like looking up celebrities with two different color eyes.
So maybe like two different kinds of identities, like as a celebrity and as a mom, as a designer, as an actress.
So someone who's done multiple things.
But also, like, I've never thought of her as a musician, but I guess because of her her family, that's probably something that most people who can sing have family members who can sing.
Yes. Sure.
So
well, I do want to let you know that a very young Deidre Behar in high school was a huge fan of Nicole Richie when she put out a song called Dandelion. It was never actually officially released, but it's still kind of floating around on the internet. Take a listen.
He's a dandelion, he looks like everything I need. I thought he was a flower, but I found out he's a weed.
So an OG Simple Life fan right here.
That's so great. That's great, yeah.
So listen, we're grasping at straws here. We've said so many different names. I'm going with Nicole Richie this week. Who are you going with?
So I am going with the popular vote online for Jackie Evancho. So you might remember her from America's Got Talent. Very young, came out with a beautiful opera voice that did not sound like one from a child. Well, she has since grown up, obviously, and people are really pinpointing these clues to her. So we did see a chandelier this week in the clue package. The chandelier could allude to her choice to consistently sing Phantom of the Opera songs on America's Got Talent. She's also covered a lot of them on albums as well. A few weeks ago, we actually saw the Pirates in a clue package. Well, she started entering talent competitions between 2008 and 2010, and she sang the U.S. national anthem consistently at Pittsburgh Pirate baseball games.
Ooh, that's a tie.
That's a tie there. There's a few more. Obviously, I think the whole growing up and being seen in a different light is a big part of it.
Girl to a woman.
Girl to a woman, and I think the kitty is giving us something different, and I'm kind of sticking with Jackie Evancho. I'm agreeing with the internet.
You know, you can make a 1,000% valid case for Jackie Evancho, but this is the hardest costume we have seen on this show yet.
Yeah.
Truly, I am, like, we usually have a pretty decent idea of who's behind the mask. I'm so stumped. We've made a good case for everyone.
I mean, I really do think, like, if it's between those two, then I would probably go with your guess, with Nicole, just because of the idea of, like, okay, well, who is this person that would be performing on a show like this? That sort of makes sense to me, because they are sort of thinking about, like, show business families, like with, like, Boomer Willis, whether it's, or like a Jackson, like a LaToya, like that kind of thing of, like, let's do the dynasty.
The famous family, yes.
That's kind of a big part of it. And so it's so tough. I mean, that's why it makes this show so great, is that you cannot figure it out.
No, they leave us stumped so many weeks after week. You want to talk about the bonus clue?
Yes, this bonus clue might make you think it's Jackie a little bit more. So we saw during the opening group number, a small thing came on screen and said that the kitty is here to seal the deal. Well, could mean a deal in business, could also literally mean seals. Jackie performed for a few different charities at seal events to support ending the annual Canadian seal hunt. Also, she was in a PSA about baby seals who are victims of commercial hunting, and she even made her own video series about supporting the Humane Society to fight against seal hunting.
So you're telling me it has nothing to do with
the
contestant on season 2 of The Masked Singer?
No.
Okay. As far as that bonus clue, I've got nothing for Nicole, but I do want to talk about the friendship bracelet that the kitty gave to one of the judges. Take a look.
The friend getting my bracelet tonight is Robin.
It says fireworks.
I gave this to you because the first time we met was lit.
So I couldn't find any evidence of, like, Robin Thicke and Nicole Richie hanging out on the 4th of July. But you talk about family dynasty, LA, people who grew up with famous parents. Nicole Richie and Robin Thicke do have history. We do have a photo of them together. We do know that they're friends and that they've hung out many times in the past. I figure she gave her bracelet to him because they're pals. They're longtime pals.
I mean, and you can't really avoid, like, if you're the generation of show business, like, their parents are in, you're going to know each other, and so there's going to be some relationship there. So that's That's great information.
Yes,
Well,
but yours is better.
I will one-up you with Jackie Evancho yet again. We actually have 2 photos here. This is from 2011 at the Grove in Los Angeles. It was their Christmas tree lighting ceremony. Christmas trees, guys, lit. Obviously. There were probably fireworks of some sort, but Jackie and Robin were both there. That is a very young Jackie, but they were both there, and I'm assuming that would have been the first time they met.
That's great. That's great too. So
There's a lot here.
There's a lot going on.
I don't know what to do.
We can all agree, though, we are head over heels for our next performer. Take a look at the banana.
You can lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on.
All right. Margaret, who is coming to mind?
Well, at first we sort of think, well, Bret Michaels, but then the body's different. So I feel like Bret Michaels is actually got sort of a broader chest. I always look at the body and kind of like that's where I sort of start.
Margaret on the physical clue.
Yeah, right.
Yes. But Bret Michaels has a higher range. So the voice doesn't quite make me think it's Bret, but you think like, well, Rock of Love, they drove in the tour bus.
Yeah.
And
The best show.
Yeah, I love that show.
Love that show.
Well, we're going to do some convincing
We're
to
gonna-
make you
we're gonna-
think
Yes,
it's Bret Michaels.
We're still going to go with our guest, Bret Michaels. Let's take it, of course, to the clue package. We saw the people who gave the clues tonight on the Bananas' behalf were 2 girls.
2 girl
And
bananas.
Yes, and we know that Bret is the proud father to 2 girls, Rain and Georgia. So that made sense that they're very proud of their father. They said that he's such a great role model and that he's been through a lot of heartburn, but has always been able to laugh through anything. Now, the word heartburn triggered me, so I thought it could mean heartache. Bret has been in many public relationships with either Pamela Anderson or even the daughter's mom, Christy Lynn Gibson. Or, meaning number 2, it could literally mean heartburn like health issues. We know that he suffers with type 1 diabetes, and he also suffered a brain hemorrhage in 2010.
That's right.
So very serious medical issues, but he's a guy with like a really big, bright presence and such a great sense of humor. The other clue that really triggered me, if we can throw up the racetrack clue. We saw the banana having the best time ever on the go-kart there. The girls said that when we were younger, the banana taught us how to drive by building a racetrack in their backyard. And guess what? We have some visual evidence of such a racetrack.
Oh.
On Bret's YouTube account, we see there a video of them having some fun out in the middle of, I don't know, it looks like they live in a very kind of desolate area.
That's great.
Where you can have go-karts in your
can
backyard.
build a go-kart
How
back.
fun.
Why
Yeah,
not?
Exactly.
fun.
Yes.
Well, the 2 for me were a little different. We saw a bottle of jam and a spider. If we can throw those up, they're very small in the corner clues when we saw the bananas talking.
Oh.
There they are circled. Okay. Very small, literal small clues. Well, Jammin' with Friends was Bret Michaels' last album to come out in 2013. Jam.
That tracks.
Okay.
Jammin' with Friends. Also, this is now 3 weeks. All 3 weeks we have seen some sort of venomous animal in all the clue packages. So the first week we saw a pufferfish, the second week we saw a snake, and now a spider. This can
Poison.
all allude to poison.
Of course.
Exactly.
I mean, that it's almost too obvious though. Like there's so much of that sort of points to it. It's like, how can that be? But what really makes sense is that he's also a person that loves to compete.
Yeah.
He loves to compete. He loves this kind of thing, Celebrity Apprentice, whatever.
Yeah.
He loves this. This is his world. So this is like a perfect venue for him. So, I mean, I think that really sort of seals it more than
anything.
Yeah.
He's a
else.
guy who loves doing these competition shows.
And one more to really seal it. We got that bonus clue during the opening performance, and for the banana, it said, "What's more inspiring than doing laundry?" Well, with a quick search online, you can actually find out that in an interview with VH1's Behind the Music, Bret Michaels revealed that the inspiration for Every Rose Has Its Thorn came one night when he was in a laundromat.
Does genius strike you at the most random places?
Well, I have my own washer and dryer. But I think that
Upgrade.
I think that it's something that like it can occur in the most mundane situations, and then you have to your responsibility as a songwriter. Your responsibility is to record it and put it down.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just think, oh, that's nothing.
Yeah.
But it's actually could be great.
Well, that was like his biggest hit. Who knew?
knew?
Laundromat.
Great
Laundromat.
song. Great song.
Of course, the friendship clue was equally telling. Take a listen.
My bracelet is for Jenny.
It says 90s love.
I'm just going to say we had a little chance to hang as friends.
Oh, sure. Sound like a little more than hanging at this point.
We had a great time, and I love you. You're an awesome person.
Oh.
Listen, you love your 90s shows.
I
what are you
sure
thinking
do.
here?
I'm thinking that Jenny McCarthy, host of Singled Out,
Yep.
Playboy, queen of MTV, Bret Michaels, a really visionary artist of the 90s, they had to have crossed paths at some point.
Oh yeah, the Headbangers
Parties.
Ball, that kind of thing, like Ricky Rockman's Cat House.
Something.
There's
There you go.
some sort of like Sunset Strip kind of interaction. I definitely, they know each other.
Of course, at
They
some
have
point
to.
or another, yes.
Well, and our final performer of the night gave a very riveting song choice. Take a look.
You were my first explosion, turned out to be corrosion. You were my hope, baby. You were my smoke, baby.
All right, I'm sticking with my guns. We're going to keep with Bow Wow.
Sticking with Bow Wow.
What do you think?
I think that's a really good guess. I also would say Tommy Davidson just because I think that, again, it's body shape and dance moves and showmanship. Also Bow Wow. I mean, it could be either one.
Yeah, I mean, they're both very talented guys.
So great,
Obviously,
yeah.
I really know Bow Wow as someone who is a musician and dances a lot. If we take it to the clue package, we heard tonight from someone who's worked really closely with Bow Wow. I don't know if it was his mom or perhaps a former manager, someone on his team in some capacity. They say that this person looked out for who we think is Bow Wow when he was in LA, even when he had an entourage. Now, that word is very pointed there, entourage. Well, of course, Bow Wow was a recurring star on Entourage. And get this little twist. He played a character that was trying to land a TV show, and they threatened that Nick Cannon was going to replace him.
Oh, wow.
So very, very
The
meta.
irony there.
Yes.
Funny.
It all
That's
goes
great.
back to that.
That's
Then
really great.
I also want to throw up the image we saw of the shampoo bottle and the comb. So I was like, oh, is this someone maybe in the beauty industry? Like, what's going on? Well, of course, Bow Wow, he posted on last summer that he not only has the top-selling do-rag line, but he's also planning to put out a wave control brush and some pomade.
Oh, good. So this
he's
is
getting
sort
into
of
hair care.
A business venture.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is another clue, which I think, I mean, that's very solid. I think...
Good, Margaret's buying it.
I'm
buying
buying
this one.
that. Like, I mean, it's just because I think, like, but for me, there's something that is like a little bit older than Bow Wow about the
I
way
thought that too.
the frog sings and presents. But that maybe just could be the fact that he's grown up.
Yeah.
Now he's an adult, and so we sort of see him as a younger person. But he's great. He's very grown up.
Well, I thought the friendship bracelet also helped us out here a little bit. So take a look at that.
To my friend T-Pain.
It says, all we do is win.
So All I Do Is Win is obviously DJ Khaled's track. So they threw Ludacris's name out there because he is featured on it as a collaboration. But I'm still sticking with Bow Wow because Bow Wow and T-Pain, who he gave that bracelet to, have collaborated in the past.
You buy it?
Yeah, I think that's good. I mean, I think that it's somebody that is definitely very, very, very much like deep in the music world. Like he knows what he's doing as a performer. He knows how to sing. He knows how to dance. He knows how to present also. This is like a very, very skilled performer, a longtime performer, even though he's young, unless he's Tommy Davidson, who's older.
There you go. So now that you've had like a couple, has it been 2 years?
Yes, it has.
Wow.
Yes.
Are people still coming up to you in airports and malls being like, the poodle,
Yes, people are very excited. They love the show, and it's quite iconic in its own like sort of lane. Like there's nothing like it.
Right.
And it really brings everybody together when we can't agree. There's so much stuff to watch. We can't agree on anything, but everybody agrees on the show. It's just like we're obsessed. We stand.
We stand.
And I love it.
We have heard from some former contestants that there are a few song requests they wish they had the chance to sing. Are there any songs that you put in that you didn't get to sing?
What I would have sang if I had not left the show, if I hadn't been voted off, would have been my two next one were You Ought to Know, Elizabeth Alanis, and Take Me to Church by Hozier.
Good choices.
So those would have
are
been
both great choices.
the other two that I would have done, but those I was actually nervous to do them because there was such big choices, the big songs. But to me, I felt like, oh well, this is worth it because it's such a big show and such a fun thing to do.
Totally.
Can we put you on the spot? Would you give us a little lick of either of those?
It's not fair to deny me. Something, whatever. I don't know. How does it go?
That was it.
Went away.
I support
Amazing.
all of this.
You're coming back for an all-star season if they ever do it.
All-Star would be good. I love an all-star.
Listen, you seem like you had such a fun experience doing the show.
Yeah.
I know you've got so many celebrity pals. Are you convincing anybody? Like, you gotta go do this show.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people, very famous people who you would love to see have been asking me, and they're like, girl, say this, and I'm like, yes, do it. And then
can you give us some names?
I really can't because it'll be so obvious. Because then they'll go back to this and they'll be like, well, she said in the
They'll pull the receipts on us.
Yeah, we will be a receipt. You don't want to be a receipt. I don't think
receipt.
it's like I don't want to be a receipt. Like I do, but I don't.
While we have you here, it's so exciting. You're part of the Netflix family. Tell us about where we can see you and where we can check you out.
Well, I will be doing the Netflix is a Joke Festival in May, and it's very exciting. But I'm on tour right now with my show Fresh Off the Bloat all over. But I'll be in Houston this week and in the Kennedy Center on Sunday in Washington, D.C.
All over the place. You can see her everywhere.
Go see her. She's a funny, funny woman.
Well, next week we'll be seeing all new costumes in Group C. We have the astronaut, the bear, the night angel, the rhino, the swan, and the T-Rex.
Ooh, I love it so much. Big thanks to Margaret Cho for being here. You are so insightful. We're going to pay attention to that body language.
Yes.
It's important.
You know.
Yes.
Charlie O'Keefe, Deidre Behar. Who is that?
Who is that? See you guys next week.